Welcome to the Para Fair today. And today's topic is talking about stressing. Are you stressing too much? So let's jump into our story, talk about our story, look at the example, look at some things that we agree with, and some things that are maybe a little confusing to us. And here we go. Once upon a time, a psychology professor walked around on the stage while teaching a stress management principles to an auditorium filled with students. As she raised a glass of water, everyone expected to be asked a typical glass half empty, glass half full question. Instead, with a smile on her face, the professor asked, "How heavy is this glass of water I am holding?" Students shouted answers ranging from 8 ounces to a couple of pounds. She replied, "From my perspective, the absolute weight of the glass doesn't matter. It depends on how long I hold it. If I hold it for a minute or two, it's fairly light. If I hold it for an hour straight, it might make my arm ache a little. If I hold it for a day straight, my arm will cramp up and feel like a completely numb and paralyzed, forcing me to drop the glass to the floor. In each case, the weight of the glass doesn't change, but the longer I hold it, the heavier it feels to me." As the class shook their head in agreement, she continued, "Your stress and worries in life are much like this glass of water. Think about them for a while and nothing happens. Think about them a bit longer and you begin to ache a little. Think about them all day long and you will feel completely numb, paralyzed, incapable of doing anything else until you drop them." How many of us out there are guilty of doing something like this? We have a small problem in the beginning. We have a very small problem in the beginning. And we think it's going to go away immediately, but somehow or another, we hold on to this. We seem to hold on to this problem. I think we're all guilty of this at one time or not in our life. And I think it's all based on how we deal with things. I notice there's some people in this world that they're faced with a lot of problems. But one thing I notice about them is the world could be crumbling down on them, but they could be having a smile on their face, like nothing's really bothering them whatsoever. And as I look around the people that I work with, the people that I come in contact with, I like those people. I like the people that no matter what's going on, they know it's going to work out. They know it's going to work out. And they have the same glass of water that I have. And that 8-ounce of glass of water that I'm carrying around, how long am I going to hold on to that water? Because I know some people, to be honest with you, they're holding on to things that happened to them when they were 5 years old. And there's some people that maybe today, as you were going to work or whatever, you got, someone jumped in front of you, someone cut you off as you were driving. And they will hold that person, they will hold that the rest of their life. Because I notice there's sometimes I get cut off in traffic and I realize it's not that big of a deal. You let it go. It's a busy place. I live in a busy place. But sometimes things are very, very important. Today I was driving out in my house and I looked in my garage and I thought about some things that I'm still holding on to. And at the time that I got them, and I talked about this before, I really thought they were something that I would hold on for a long time. But I realized that they're more of a burden now than they were when I purchased them. In life, you have to kind of lighten your load a little bit. I noticed this week, there's been some things that have been coming my way, and I really haven't really stressed out about them too much. I really haven't given them too much thought. I really haven't really I just go with the flow with it. And there's some things that I'm like, wow, I should really just jump on that situation and talk about it and harp on it and harp on it. And then I realize I feel really good. I feel really good this week. My blood pressure is down, feel less stressed. And not because I don't care. I just have to put it in that category of how important is it? Is it really worth me, getting sick over? Is it really worth me holding on to this the whole week and taking it out on people, lashing out on people? And that's what happens sometimes. Something will happen to us and we will take it out on the next person. We will hold on to it because we were hurt by this situation a long time ago. And the person who comes across from you, they have to pay for it. They have to really pay for it. And you see this happen all the time in certain relationships where one relationship didn't work out. So the next person that comes into your heart or the next person that comes along with you, and they don't know what's going on, but they get blindsided with all this stuff that you're holding on to. And I try to really let things go because I realize you can't do anything about certain people's past. You can't. It's not going to change anything. It's not going to make things better. All it is going to bring a lot of friction to the situation that you're in now because you're living behind you. You're not living in front of you. And I heard this analogy a long time ago, and I thought it was funny. And it's just a reason why when you're driving a car, there's a big front window that you have and a very small rear view mirror that you look out of because you're looking at all the things that are in front of you. The things that are in the past, they're in the past. They were great for that moment, but you got to keep moving on. And there's very few people that I know that drive in reverse. You'll see it on the movies, but that's movies. So as you keep moving on, it's just like the 8-ounce of glass of water that you have. There's some things that you can't really walk around and hold for years and years and years. I was talking to this person the other day, and they were talking about how they were friends with someone in high school. They were really good friends through middle school, then high school. Then after high school, they all went to college. And, they kind of lost their way. But they were talking about how they got in an argument one time and right after high school and college. And they haven't talked to that person in, 15, 20 years. And I asked that simple question, are you still mad at that person? They go, oh, yeah, I'm still mad at that person. And I said, okay. And then I asked the next question. I go, well, what was the argument about? They couldn't remember. I said, so you're still mad at someone 15, 20 years and you can't remember what the argument was about and you're still holding on to that grudge of that person? Oh, yeah. I don't know what it was, but I knew I wasn't wrong. Oh, okay. All right. So we do that a lot in our lives. Because we want to be right. There's some people in this world, they always want to be right. No matter how wrong they are, they will not back down. And as I looked at some of the things that I'm dealing with at this current moment, it feels good to let go of some things. It feels really good. Because a lot of times we're carrying around all this stuff and it's just weighting us down. It's hard to get up in the morning, hard to stay motivated. But the thing is, I realize what you have to do is you have to learn how to have a plan and how to eliminate this stuff. And I've come up with a little plan that I think it's not original. And I realize what some of the problems I have, it's just pretty simple. And so today I was breaking down some things that I have a couple of problems I'm working with. And there's so much out there on this internet to help you get through all these problems. And the problem I have is I wanted to save up so much money for a trip. I want to save up so much money for a trip. And so I pull up this website online, and I want to save up the trip's like in 90 days, and I want to save up a certain amount so that we have a great time. I said, how much do I need to save? 90 days from now? What do I need to save up so that I can have a good time? I can have this amount. Pull up the website, put in the numbers that I have, and it says on such and such date, if you do this, this, and this every day, you'll have that amount. And I always go back to the saying. This is from a Hatchet book that I read every year. Easy to say, hard to do. It's easy to say that we're going to that water the 8 ounce glass of water is not really heavy right now, but maybe in an hour, it gets, it's going to get a little bit heavier. Maybe in, a couple days, it's going to get a cramp in our arm. So we have to figure out, you really have to figure out what's best for us. What is best for us? And you have to have a plan. You just can't just go out to this world and just fly around out there without having a plan. And I've heard this one over and over again from this friend I had in college. And she would always tell me this: poor preparations produces poor performance. And she used to say this all the time. I used to look at her like she was crazy half the time. And it's like, what are you talking about? And she says, yeah, you have to do this. You have to prepare yourself. You have to prepare yourself for something later on down the road. And then if something happens to you, you have to let it go, because your goal is way out there and stuff is going to happen to you all the time. And so you got to just move on. If it's not part of your goals, it's part of the experience of getting there. And that's what we have to learn, is we can't let everything hold on to everything that we have. And there's a reason why in the spring we have called spring cleaning. It's not just for the material things that we have in our house. It's for our mind. Clean out your mind. Get that mind of yours cleaned out. Flush out some of those negative things that are going on in your mind, and things will be a lot better. As I continue to work on myself, change and adapt, that's what I'm going to do. Not just the stuff that's in my garage in my way that's not even important anymore, but the things that are in my brain, the things that keep running through my mind every day, because some things really aren't that important. Some things really aren't that important. But if you make them important, they will be important. Oh, once again, thank you for listening to the Parafair. I know you have other options to listen to. We want to thank you for coming by and really making this show bigger and better. And as we continue to get bigger and better, hopefully these podcasts are making your life a lot easier, a lot less stress in your life. And we will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.